Lovely. I absolutely love the joy agency and what your purpose is with that. So would you like to share with us what you shared with me previously about your journey in finding your purpose and what brought you to this point in your journey and this realization of what you have to bring to the world?
Sure. A lot of the challenges of my whole life have been health related. I've had a lot of health issues, and I've spent probably in some ways, my purpose has been finding a way to come to peace, come to healing with everything that's happened in my life. But on the outside, I've had breast cancer twice in the last 9 years. I'm healthy at the moment, but there's been a whole journey and a whole, growing and learning over that time. And when I had the first cancer, I really experienced it. I hadn't gone into that at all. It was all new learning. I had to learn a lot of new skills and heal a lot of aspects of myself and learn all the skills of how to survive and how to come to peace with life and cancer and all the treatments. It really transformed me in lots of ways. And when I started to recover from that and get back into life, I just felt, this is great. I'm just going to get out and enjoy life and live it to the full, because you never know what might happen next.
Yeah.
And 4 years after that, I was actually diagnosed with cancer again. It was a real surprise because I felt very healthy. I was really energized and, working in my day job and all of that. And I had this knowing right at the time of the diagnosis that in some ways there wasn't anything more for me to learn about cancer, but this one was about sharing all the messages that I learned, and part of that was sharing how to make it easier for others and how to actually enjoy life as much as possible during that experience, because it could be easy to kind of go down one track and think that this is a sentence to doom or death, and for a lot of people it's not. So it's actually a recipe to quite a lot of transformation, and many people say that in retrospect that cancer can be one of the best things that ever happened to them.
So what's the biggest thing that you feel you learned from your experiences with the cancer?
Wow, so much. I think the biggest thing is that there are ways to come to a peace with cancer. At the beginning, I felt a lot of fear. There's a lot of shock, and a lot of people do go into a kind of post-traumatic stress disorder from all the repeated traumas and shocks. And there are different ways to heal those events for yourself and kind of create the most minimum amount of trauma for yourself, and actually look at your life and think, well, first of all, what's my purpose? How would I live if I had 1 year left to live? How would I live if I had 5 years left to live? And kind of look at it that way. And, a friend of mine said to me, she decided when she had cancer that she was going to have the best year of her life.
Yeah.
And she completely approached it like that, and I was kind of having this struggle experience. So I decided that the next cancer would be living it from that different perspective, where you can have as many treats as you want, you can catch up with people and go on holidays, and just create the most gentle, peaceful, healing and beautiful life that you possibly can. I always talk to people about creating a positive, like a bubble around you, and do not allow other people to tell you those stories. There's something about human beings that they kind of want to tell you about someone they know who's died, or this and that. And I think a lot of people aren't very comfortable with cancer, and when they talk to you, they kind of just say random things that don't really help that much sometimes. So it's really important to find your own sense of peace and space and positivity, and don't allow all of that negativity into your healing zone. And so there's a lot of kind of skills that are needed to deflect some of that, you know. And even going into the hospital, a good friend of mine said to, you know, wear headphones and pretty much zone out a lot of the drama that's happening around you. And stay in your space, in a really positive, healing, receptive space. You know, it's reading a really inspiring book, or watching an inspiring movie, or, you know, I have a friend, Jill, who'd come to the hospital with me, and she said, my job is to tell you jokes. And she would, every time I'd have, you know, a needle or something, and she would tell me a joke and make me laugh. And so huge amount of positivity around me, and it's hugely important.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the viewers before we finish that you feel really is important?
Probably just a little bit more about what you were just saying. I think, you know, in some ways I'm very grateful for the experiences I've had. My mother and her friends always used to say to me, you know, what you've been through is character building, and it really was. And I think today, with everything crazy that's going on in the world, it's more important than ever for people to, you know, really tune in and, you know, fill their lives with peace and positivity. So regardless of illness, tune in, and, you know, as you've talked about your purpose of helping people connect with their purpose and what gives them joy, and all of those things, in order to live, you know, a really beautiful life where they feel very connected. Really, so in some ways it's our joint purpose together.
Yes, it's amazing, and I can't stop saying it. I love what you do.